Okay, welcome to week 1 of remote learning Algebra 2. So, we've been doing videos for a while, so that part's not really new. Hopefully, you're actually listening to the video and not just reading the closed captioning so that you can hear what I'm talking about. So, I've broken this up into 3 smaller videos so that you can take the notes real quick and then go and do the big ideas practice. Or if you want to watch all 3 short videos in a row, that's an option too, and then do the big ideas practice later. So, we are going to be talking about radicals. And so, the radical sign itself is not a new idea. We've seen that before. We've seen with our parents, like square root and cube root, it had this radical sign. The thing under the radical actually has a name. It's called the radicand. Yes, that's a thing. So we've got the radical sign or the symbol. We've got the radicand, which is under it. And then over here, we have the number on the outside called the index. So that's the nth root, we might be calling it. Okay. When there is no number out here, that's a square root. We've seen that before. Like I said, we have square root as one of our parent functions from first quarter with the transformations. Okay, so why am I telling you this? Because the first thing we're going to do in this video is we're going to just evaluate radicals. And to do that, we're going to use Desmos. All right, so the first problem that we're going to do in Desmos, so I'm going to have you write this down, is cubed root of 8. So the cubed root of 8. We can actually put this into a calculator, and since we're doing stuff online, we're going to use Desmos, and that's how I'm going to show you how to do it, though of course you can also do this on the TI-30 calculator that we normally would be using in class. So number 1 is the cube root of 8, and number 2 is the fifth root of 415. Okay, so I introduced you to the vocabulary because that's what I'm going to be using when we put it into Desmos. So let's go to Desmos so that you can see how to enter this stuff. Okay, so you'll notice I have the keyboard up here, and we're going to be using it for some different things. And you can see there is a radical sign down here, and you see there's not a number on it. That's because that's a square root, but there is nothing here for an nth root. So that's why I wanted to make sure we knew how to do this on Desmos. So to do that, we're going to go to functions, and you're going to go to miscellaneous, this MISC up here. Okay, and right here it said n radical. That's what we actually want. So I'm going to click on that, and you can see what it kind of sets up here. My cursor is where the index is, and this little gray part is where my radicand is going to go. So, and I can just type those numbers in. So remember, number 1 was the cube root of 8. So I can type in the 3 for my index, and I can type in the 8 for my radicand. And there's my answer. It's 2. Okay, so that's how we're going to put it into Desmos. Now, for your purposes, when you do this in big ideas, you don't have to just keep retyping this. I would just like delete numbers and put them in, but I want to reiterate again where I got that from. So go to functions, miscellaneous, and then I click this one here that has the n and then the radical sign. You cannot just use the square root sign. It will not work for you. You've got to use this one. Okay, so number 2 was the fifth root. That's my index, 5, of 415. And you can see here that it has given me a decimal. So just like before, we're going to round to the hundredths. So hundredth is this 3 right here, and the number to the right of it is 5 or above, so I'm going to give it a shove. So that answer becomes 3.34. All right, so just to bring you back to my other screen, just so you can see how I wrote down my answers. I've got the cube root of 8 is 2, and the fifth root of 415 is 3.34, and I rounded this one. So again, we're using Desmos. Make sure that you're actually using the function button and then going to miscellaneous. You cannot just use the square root sign in this and put the number in front of it. It will not work. Okay, talk soon. Bye.